A Maytag top loader costs $899. A Whirlpool top loader costs $699. An Amana top loader costs $499. All three sit on the same showroom floor. All three are built in the same factory in Clyde, Ohio. All three answer to the same boardroom in Benton Harbor, Michigan. One company, three price tiers, one machine. By the end of this video, you will know the fourth brand on the same shelf, how to read the badge, and what to buy instead. Brand number 4, Jenn-Air. Jenn-Air was founded in 1947 in Indianapolis, Indiana, by Louis Jenn. The brand built its reputation on the downdraft ventilation range, a cooktop with an integrated venting system that pulled smoke and steam downward rather than up through a hood, avoiding a bulky overhead exhaust. The innovation became the defining product of the brand and positioned Jenn-Air as a premium appliance name for professional-style kitchens, the kind of brand a kitchen designer would specify by name on a renovation plan rather than leave to a builder's standard package. Maytag acquired Jenn-Air in 1982. Whirlpool acquired Maytag, and Jenn-Air along with it, in 2006. The downdraft range heritage stayed with the cooking division. Jenn-Air continues to compete in the premium kitchen appliance category on genuine technical grounds. The washer and dryer lineup is a different story. Today, Jenn-Air operates as Whirlpool's premium tier positioning brand across laundry. The Jenn-Air washer lineup runs from $1,200 to $2,000 and above. The marketing language targets luxury kitchen renovation buyers who are purchasing an integrated appliance suite with coordinated aesthetics, matte black or stainless finishes, minimalist control panels, and design language that visually unifies the range, the refrigerator, the dishwasher, and the laundry pair into a single architectural statement. The construction underneath the Jenn-Air badge on the washer side is the Whirlpool platform, with premium feature sets, enhanced digital controls, and design specifications that align with the kitchen aesthetic the brand markets. The manufacturing relationship to the Whirlpool residential platform is the same relationship that exists between Maytag and Whirlpool, and Amana and Whirlpool. Same corporate parent, same manufacturing infrastructure, different badge, substantially different price. The buyer spending $1,500 on a Jenn-Air washer to match the Jenn-Air range in their kitchen renovation is paying a design coherence premium and a brand positioning premium. That is a legitimate choice to make. It should be a conscious one. The machine underneath the Jenn-Air badge is a Whirlpool platform product at a Jenn-Air platform price. The cooking equipment that built Jenn-Air's reputation is a separate conversation from the washer wearing the same badge. The buyer who researches the range and assumes the washer carries the same engineering heritage has been misled by the coherence of the aesthetic, not by any deliberate deception. The badge is the same. The manufacturing story is not. Brand number 3, Amana. Amana was founded in 1934 in Middle Amana, Iowa by George Forstner. The original product was a walk-in cooler for a winery, refrigeration engineering for an agricultural community in rural Iowa. The appliance line launched in the 1950s and grew from that same refrigeration foundation. Raytheon acquired Amana in 1965 and used its manufacturing facilities to develop the first commercial microwave oven, the Radar Ange, which Amana launched to consumers in 1967. For a brand most buyers today associate with budget appliances, that is a significant engineering credential. Amana did not arrive at the bottom of a price ladder. It built the technology that eventually appeared in every kitchen in America. Maytag Corporation acquired Amana in 2001, 5 years before Whirlpool acquired Maytag. Whirlpool's 2006 acquisition of Maytag brought Amana into the Whirlpool corporate structure as part of the same transaction, a brand acquired by a brand that was then itself acquired. The ownership chain placed Amana at the budget tier entry point for the washer lineup, a positioning decision made after the engineering identity of the brand had already been absorbed into a larger manufacturing structure. Amana washers run from $399 to $599. The Amana top loader is the entry-level product on the Whirlpool manufacturing platform. Fewer features, shorter warranty terms, the same core mechanical components as the equivalent Whirlpool and Maytag models at this capacity. Different badge, lower price, same factory. The Amana buyer is purchasing the same Whirlpool platform the Maytag buyer is purchasing, at a lower price point, with fewer features and a shorter warranty. That is an honest value proposition for what it is. Arguably, the most honest price point on this entire shelf, because the Amana badge carries the least brand premium of the four. The problem is not the Amana. The problem is the shelf. A buyer standing between an Amana at $499 and a Maytag at $699 is choosing between two price points on the same manufacturing platform, guided by two sets of brand associations that no longer correspond to two separate manufacturing operations. The $200 difference is not buying a better washer. It is buying the difference in how those two names make the buyer feel walking out of the store. Brand number 2, Maytag. Maytag was founded in 1893 in Newton, Iowa by Frederick Maytag. The original product was a wooden washing tub with a hand-cranked agitator. The company grew into one of the most trusted American appliance names across the 20th century. The Maytag repairman, the loneliest man in town because Maytag machines never broke down, ran as a television campaign for 32 years. That campaign built one of the most powerful brand associations in American manufacturing. An entire generation of buyers grew up believing that Maytag was the standard other manufacturers were measured against. And for most of the 20th century, that belief was earned. The Newton, Iowa factory produced machines with a reputation for outlasting the homes they were installed in. The reputation was not built on advertising alone. Through the middle of the 20th century, Maytag engineering genuinely emphasized heavier components, simpler mechanical systems, and a design philosophy that prioritized a machine's ability to be opened, diagnosed, and repaired by a technician with basic tools. The wringer washers and early automatic models that built the brand's name were mechanically straightforward by design, with fewer parts that could fail, and the parts that existed were built heavy enough to outlast the rest of the appliance around them. That engineering culture was Newton's culture. The factory and the philosophy were the same thing for over 100 years. Whirlpool Corporation acquired Maytag in April 2006 for $1.7 billion. The Newton, Iowa headquarters closed. Production consolidated into existing Whirlpool facilities, primarily Clyde, Ohio, for top loaders. Thousands of manufacturing jobs in Newton ended. The town that had built its identity around the Maytag name for over a century became, in industry terms, a former production site. The manufacturing platform merged. The parts catalog merged. The badge did not merge. Today's Maytag residential top loader runs $599 to $999. The construction underneath is the Whirlpool residential platform with cosmetic and feature differences. The same factory, the same core drive system on the residential lines, the same parts catalog that a Whirlpool technician uses when servicing a Whirlpool also covers the equivalent Maytag. The badge premium, the additional cost of wearing the Maytag name instead of the Whirlpool name, runs approximately $150 to $200 on comparable models. That premium buys nothing measurable on the spec sheet. It buys the loneliest man in town. Here's the part that should bother anyone who grew up with that campaign. The engineering culture that earned the reputation, heavy components, simple mechanisms, repairability by design, is not gone from the Whirlpool Corporation portfolio. It exists. It is built into the Maytag MVW P585 GDO, the commercial grade machine discussed later in this video. which comes off a separate assembly line to a separate specification. The residential main line carrying the Maytag name today is not that machine. The buyer who remembers what Maytag used to mean is, in a real sense, remembering a machine that the company still makes, just not the one with the Maytag badge sitting on the showroom floor at $799. The Maytag repairman is still the loneliest man in town, not because the machines never break, because the machines are Whirlpools wearing a Maytag badge, and the repairman's reputation was built on a factory that closed in 2007. The advertising outlived the factory by nearly 2 decades. Brand number 1, Whirlpool Residential Mainline. Whirlpool was founded in 1911 in Benton Harbor, Michigan. More than a century of American appliance manufacturing. The brand that defined the American laundry room for 3 generations. That history is real. The current residential mainline is a different product than the one that built the reputation. The Whirlpool residential top loader runs $499 to $799, depending on features and capacity. The impeller wash system is on most of the mainline models. It uses electronic load sensing controls that estimate water level by load weight rather than manual input. Plastic tub construction appears on entry and mid-tier models. A lid lock engages at cycle start. Now, the impeller deserves its own explanation, because the difference between an impeller and an agitator is the difference between a current and a paddle. An impeller is a low-profile disc at the bottom of the tub. It spins and creates a water current that the clothes move through. There is no central post pushing fabric through the water directly. For lightly soiled, everyday laundry, office shirts, light cottons, normal household loads, that current is sufficient. For heavily soiled laundry, work clothes, farm gear, anything with mud, grease, or grass stains, the impeller is working harder to achieve the same result an agitator achieves through direct mechanical contact. That is not a defect. It is a design choice that trades cleaning aggressiveness for fabric gentleness and lower water use. The buyer needs to know which trade they are making before they make it, and the showroom floor rarely explains the distinction in those terms. The failure patterns are consistent and documented. Lid locks fail at 2 to 3 years. Shift actuators, the component that transitions the machine between agitation and spin, fail at 3 to 4 years. Control boards fail on the feature-heavy models. None of these are catastrophic failures individually. They are manageable repairs. The lid lock runs $75 to $100 installed. The shift actuator runs $100 to $150. The control board runs $200 to $350. Here is what those numbers mean in practice. A Whirlpool that needs all 3 across 10 years has cost the buyer $1,100 to $1,500 beyond the purchase price. At that number, the buyer who paid $700 for the washer has spent as much as the buyer who paid $1,099 for a Speed Queen that needed nothing. The replacement cost math is visible before purchase. Most buyers do not run it because the showroom floor is not designed to encourage that calculation. This is not a condemnation of Whirlpool as a manufacturer. The engineering team in Benton Harbor knows how to build a washing machine. The commercial platform inside the Maytag MVWP585GW, discussed later in this video, proves that conclusively. The residential mainline is an engineering decision made for a specific price point and a specific replacement cycle, and that decision is consistent across the entire price tier, regardless of which of the 4 badges sits on the front panel. The buyer comparing a $699 Whirlpool to a $799 Maytag on the same showroom floor is not comparing 2 engineering philosophies. They are comparing 2 price points on 1 philosophy, with 2 different amounts of brand history attached to the sticker. Subscribe. This channel follows the parent company, not the badge on the front panel.